Hi everybody, it's Matthew Stephens with the Space Coast Elite Homes team with the Brevard County housing market update for May 22nd, 2025. Keep in mind that all of this data is about a month old, but it's as quick as we can get it out to you. So I wanted to go over what is happening in the housing market and how I can explain some things. There is a lot going on, and there is some misinformation because real estate is very granular. And if you happen to watch the news, you'll notice that a lot of times they will speak about an entire state. And here in Brevard County, because real estate is granular, that we're not having the problems like they're having in Orlando or down in Fort Myers or Boca or any of those areas, Miami, all those. That changes a lot of things of what's going on. We are propped up because of different little areas around here of in a better position than some of the other areas. Like, for example, Tampa, Fort Myers, Orlando, those areas got super frothy during the pandemic and really went way over the top, where you could get anywhere from 50 to 100 plus offers on a house. We didn't have those issues here. However, we did have multiple offers, but it was nothing crazy like when it was going on in those areas. And now Tampa, the bottom's kind of falling out in some aspects, significant price drops. And things of that nature. So they are seeing dramatic drops in prices. Here in Brevard County, little corrections here and there, nothing crazy, pretty stable overall. It was estimated that this year there may be a 0.5% decrease in prices, but there are quite a few polls and analytical companies that are showing 0% changes in prices. So that's a good thing. Unlike Orlando, there's anywhere from 5 to 15% depending on the area. So let me go over a couple things. So one thing that there was an elephant in the room is that our mortgage rates right now, and there was a report yesterday that came out saying that mortgage applications were the lowest they've been since 1995. And that is kind of true for the most part. I wouldn't blame anybody. I saw that mortgage rates were at 6.87%, which is an APR average of about almost 7% rate over the year. So I get it. And so I would hold off too, because earlier in the year, you could have gotten a mortgage rate for 6.53%. So I see a lot of people holding off, and I totally understand that. There is a lot of pent up demand that people are waiting to purchase, and it's spilling through now that the Florida housing market and the housing market generally across the United States is really taking off again for the summer, because a lot of people start in May and pretty much go through August on purchasing, and that's kind of the biggest time of the year for purchasing around the United States. Florida doesn't have much of a off season for real estate, but we do see an increased demand at that point. So anyways, want to discuss that. So what's going on in Brevard County for single family homes? The average median sales price has actually gone down 2.3% to $375,000 from a year ago. It was $384,000. So why is that? Well, because mortgage rates are higher, your ability to purchase more has decreased. So there's that reason for that. But homes sold, there was a 6.7% decrease from a year ago. That's actually not much. So out of 1,033 homes last year, 964 sold last month. So days on the market have gone up from 37 days to 45 days. Supply of inventory, we've had about an additional month. So we went from 3.6 months worth of inventory to 4.6 months, because again, this is the time of year where people are needing to move and change schools and do all those things, and people wait. And so this is our season, so more houses on the market. But that's good, because if you are a buyer, you got more options rather than anything else. So those were single family homes. So interesting numbers. Okay, nothing crazy. It's actually kind of been, for the most part, pretty well stabilized. Condos and townhomes, big differences. So we are a secondary market. In other words, a lot of vacation homes, secondary homes here in Brevard County. So this happens a lot. So you will see that there will be big changes with the condos and the townhomes because they're cheaper, and there's somebody to do maintenance on them while you're not there. So Last year, the average median sales price was 330,000. This year is 285. So that is a big difference. Again, so condos, when you in townhomes, if you buy it as an investment, you're going to pay about 1 to 1.5% higher than a normal mortgage. So that's, a lot of people are holding off on that. We had 213 homes sold this time compared to a year ago. That was 249. So not a huge change. Days on the market, 58 days on the market currently. Last year, about 35 days. Months of inventory, currently it's 8.8 months worth of inventory, which is now, that has shifted to a buyer's market for condos and townhomes, which is not surprising. And then a year ago was 6.1 months, which was the yin and yang, basically. The amount of buyers and the amount of sellers were pretty even. So now there are less buyers and more sellers for condos and townhomes. And again, we're a secondary market, so that completely makes sense. So there hasn't been a huge drop in issues here. It is pretty close to being stable, little dips and ups and downs, but nothing crazy. But I do see why people are waiting a little bit more. But, however, the last couple weeks, the numbers have gone up tremendously because this is the time of year. School's getting over, so you can pull your kids out, and get ready to prepare to move. So May starts getting busy, and we will get into our season until August. So you're going to see numbers probably get busier and better. And again, in Brevard County, we are doing very well here. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll make this video as short as I can. My name is Matthew Stebbins with the Space Coast Elite Homes team. You can call or text me anytime, 321-482-3585. Looking forward to speaking with you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.